Although snakes may seem scary at first glance, their relatively small heads make many people think they can't cause much damage. You might even imagine that it would be impossible for them to swallow something as large as a human, right? In fact, snakes have a fascinating ability to dislocate their jaws, which allows them to consume prey much larger than their mouths. Some of the things they've swallowed are truly impressive and could rival the craziest objects you can imagine. So let's dive into this list, ranging from the snake that wanted to chew on a stuffed toy to the one that was no smarter than its own meal, with the 14 craziest things a snake has ever swallowed. But before we get started, make sure to subscribe to our channel and leave your like. Now, let's get started. Number 1. Snake eats a wildebeest. A wildebeest calf ended up as an easy meal for a hungry African python, which was caught on camera at the exact moment it swallowed its massive prey. This incredibly rare encounter took place in the South African savannah and was documented by Rudy Hoff, manager of the Velgaven Game Reserve. For a moment, the massive snake seemed to have bitten off more than it could chew, as these pythons typically hunt much smaller prey. It was a remarkable moment for Hoff, who commented that in his 15 years as a game ranger, he had never witnessed anything like it. Experts were equally amazed and puzzled by the extraordinary footage captured. While it's not unusual for pythons to hunt live mammals, their typical diet consists of hares, rabbits, lambs, squirrels, birds, rodents, and occasionally small antelopes like deer. The ability to capture and consume something as large as a blue wildebeest, even if it was just a calf, is simply astonishing. You can clearly see the effort the python makes to open its mouth and try to swallow such a substantial meal. Hoff and several guests at the reserve watched the gripping scene unfold over a 30-minute period, but when darkness fell, they were forced to leave. When they returned the next morning, there was no sign of the python or the wildebeest, leaving us to imagine how the situation played out. Nature always has a way of leaving us in suspense, and this encounter serves as a vivid reminder of the wild and unpredictable dynamics that govern the animal kingdom. Number 2. Snake eating itself. When people are extremely hungry, you might hear them joking that they're so starved they could eat their own arm. Of course, it's just an exaggeration to express extreme hunger. But surprisingly, snakes seem to take the idea of self-consumption quite literally. There's even a specific term for this peculiar behavior, the Ouroboros, an ancient symbol representing infinity, the cycle of life and death, and in some interpretations, self-sufficiency. However, that philosophical meaning doesn't quite apply when your pet snake starts chewing on its own tail. A truly disturbing sight. This strange and alarming behavior in snakes usually doesn't have any mystical meaning but is actually a sign that something is wrong. Most commonly, the snake is overheated, which can lead to disorientation. Excessive heat, often caused by improper environmental temperatures, can speed up the snake's metabolism, triggering a false sense of hunger. As a result, the snake may begin to consume anything in sight, and in the case of a confused snake, that could include its own tail. This instinct for self-cannibalism is a dramatic demonstration of how thermal imbalance can affect a snake's health. Beyond overheating, this behavior can also occur during the shedding process, which is a sensitive and vulnerable time for snakes. While shedding, they may temporarily lose some vision, which can lead them to mistake their own tail for potential prey. This phenomenon is more common in snakes kept in environments with improper humidity and temperature, or in younger snakes still adjusting to their new physiological cycles. If you catch your snake in the act of self-cannibalism, there are a few steps you can take to help it recover quickly. The first is to immediately lower the ambient temperature to prevent further distress. Spraying the snake's body with cool water may also help provide relief by reducing heat and restoring metabolic balance. If these methods fail and the snake continues biting its tail, it may be necessary to consult a veterinarian who specializes in exotic animals. It's important to act quickly. Once a snake starts feeding on itself, it can be difficult for it to stop the behavior on its own. In extreme cases, these episodes can even be fatal if not treated in time. This kind of situation is undoubtedly challenging for snake owners and highlights the importance of closely monitoring the snake's habitat and behavior. Ensuring that temperature, humidity, and lighting conditions are properly maintained is essential for the animal's well-being. Staying alert to signs of stress or abnormal behavior can help prevent these distressing episodes, providing your pet with a safe and healthy environment. A snake's behavior should never be ignored, as it can be a clear sign that something in its habitat isn't functioning as it should. Number 3. Indigo snake eats rat snake. It seems that when it comes to a snake's diet, no living animal is off limits, not even its own kind. All snakes are carnivorous and will consume any animal they can overpower, even if it's larger than themselves. They are opportunistic feeders and certainly not picky when it comes to filling their bellies. In this striking video, we see both the rat snake and the eastern indigo snake. The eastern indigo is the larger of the two and has a formidable reputation as a powerful predator. It's known for its ability to subdue prey through sheer strength, often slamming them against nearby objects. However, in this particular clip, the unfortunate rat snake meets a swift and unceremonious end. It attempts a stealthy escape but is quickly captured by the larger indigo snake, which then begins the slow process of swallowing it whole. During this process, the rat snake can be seen writhing desperately, trying to break free. I don't know about you, but it's hard to imagine how the indigo snake doesn't choke, and it makes you wonder where it finds the space to fit the rat snake, considering they're quite similar in length. This situation reveals the harsh realities of nature, where survival often means one creature must become another's meal. The indigo snake's remarkable ability to consume prey even larger than itself says a lot about its predatory skills. This episode not only highlights the dynamics of the food chain, but also underscores the adaptability of snakes in a world where competition for food is fierce. Number 4. The snake devours a crocodile after a long battle. Pythons are known for their determination, and there's no way they back down when a substantial meal is at stake. Can you imagine fighting for 5 hours just to get your dinner? There must surely be easier ways to get a meal. This captivating video of a hungry python was filmed on the banks of Lake Mundara, near Mount Isa, in Queensland, Australia, in 2014. The dramatic struggle caught the attention of onlookers who were enjoying a quiet afternoon on a March weekend, and the resulting video has already racked up over 56 million views on YouTube. The incredible footage shows a 3-meter python skillfully constricting a crocodile while gradually stretching its mouth over the reptile's scaly body. During this intense 5-hour battle, both the crocodile and the snake can be seen on the lake's edge and submerged in the water. Eventually, the python emerges victorious from the water with the crocodile clearly nestled inside its belly. A local resident who witnessed the scene as the snake exited the lake reported that the outline of the crocodile's legs and scales was clearly visible through the python's body. While this is an astonishing sight, it's certainly not the first time a python has targeted a crocodile for lunch, and it won't be the last. Snakes are well known for their remarkable ability to swallow prey measuring 75 to 100% of their own size. Imagine trying to eat something nearly as big as yourself. It's a testament to the adaptability and survival strategies these reptiles have developed. It's truly a wild world where even the most formidable predators must fight to survive. Number 5. The python devours an alligator. This striking video, which quickly gained worldwide attention, captures a chilling scene: a Burmese python devouring an alligator in South Florida. The footage serves as a powerful reminder of the strength of these giant snakes and the significant impact they have on the local wildlife of the Everglades. These snakes, which are not native to the region, have become one of the primary threats to the local ecosystem, leading to the decline of several animal species. The presence of these pythons in Florida has increased so much that they are systematically consuming one species after another, without restriction. And as we see in this dramatic video, not even the mighty American alligator is safe from the jaws of a hungry python. The behavior of pythons during a hunt is both fascinating and terrifying. Interestingly, the python's 2 lower jaws are not fused together, which allows them to move independently as the snake consumes its prey. This anatomical feature is one of the python's greatest assets, granting it exceptional feeding abilities in the animal kingdom. These snakes can expand their jaws impressively, enabling them to swallow prey much larger than the size of their own heads. For the Burmese python, this means it can capture and devour creatures the size of an alligator with ease, something most other reptile species could never manage. In addition, the Burmese python has a unique genetic ability to adjust its metabolism according to its dietary needs. After consuming a large meal, such as an alligator, the snake's metabolism can adapt and its internal organs can even double in size, allowing it to store food efficiently. This ability is a major advantage for the species' survival, but it also means that when they feed on large prey like alligators, they become vulnerable and slower for a time during digestion. In the Everglades, these snakes are relentless, taking down any animal that crosses their path. They use their constriction technique to wrap around their prey and suffocate it before swallowing it whole. However, swallowing a creature the size of an alligator is no quick task. the video reveals that this frenzied meal took an astonishing 3 hours to complete. During that time, the unfortunate alligator was still alive for a significant portion of the process, making the scene even more dramatic and disturbing. The act of swallowing an alligator is extremely exhausting for the snake, as it must use all its strength and patience to consume such a massive meal. It's hard not to feel a certain sense of pity for the alligator, caught in such a cruel situation. The fight for survival in the wild is truly a harsh and brutal experience, where predators and prey are constantly engaged in a never-ending battle for life. For the python, it was just another meal, but for the alligator, it was a tragic end. This incident also serves as a reminder of the power of invasive species like the Burmese python and the devastating impact they can have on local ecosystems. Nature, in all its beauty and cruelty, never ceases to amaze us with its complexity and relentlessness. Number 6. Snake swallows, 36 million naira. A snake was involved in a bizarre case involving the theft of 36 million naira from an office of the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, in Nigeria. When auditors discovered that a substantial amount, equivalent to about $100,000, had disappeared from the registration fees, a rather unusual explanation emerged from an office employee. She claimed that a snake was responsible for the disappearance. According to the story, this mysterious snake somehow managed to enter the financial sector of JAMB, located in Makurdi, the capital of Benue State. If there is any truth to this story, the snake would have had to swallow at least 36,000 banknotes to make off with such a sum. That's an absurd amount of paper for a snake to digest. When questioned further, the employee revealed that she had conspired with another JAMB worker to spiritually steal the money from the safe, using the snake as an accomplice in this elaborate scheme. This peculiar claim generated much skepticism and speculation, leading investigators to delve deeper into the motivations behind such an absurd story. Reports suggested that this incident may not be entirely isolated. In some cultures, it is believed that snakes can serve as spiritual guides or even instruments of mischief, adding a layer of complexity to the case and raising questions about the cultural context in which these claims were made. Perhaps the employee thought invoking the image of a snake would divert attention from her actions. It's no surprise that the auditors found this explanation hard to swallow. As a result, the employee was suspended from her position, leaving many wondering about the legitimacy of her statements. Did she simply try to shift the blame for her actions, or did she truly believe in the supernatural element of the story? Now, we can only speculate whether this woman wasn't in her right mind, or if there is in fact a very clever Nigerian snake out there, taking advantage of the greatest heist it has ever pulled off. The saga of the missing money serves as a curious reminder that extraordinary claims can sometimes intersect with the mundane world of finance and ethics, blurring the lines between reality and imagination. Number 7. Snake swallows a BBQ tongs. Maybe this particular snake wasn't invited to the barbecue, so it decided to take matters into its own hands, or rather, its own mouth. In an unusual incident in southern Australia, a pet snake named Winston caught the media's attention in May 2015 when it swallowed a set of BBQ tongs. Winston, a sizable python, had already been fed a mouse, but, unlike what one might expect, it wasn't satisfied with the meal. Driven by its curiosity instinct, the snake grabbed the BBQ tongs with the same voracity it would use to capture prey. Winston's owner, Aaron Roos, quickly realized something was wrong. The snake seemed absolutely obsessed with the utensil and showed no signs of wanting to let go of it. At first, Aaron tried to retrieve the tongs, but soon realized it was futile. Winston wasn't willing to open its mouth to release the item, so Aaron, in a burst of frustration, thought about leaving it for later. However, in an even more surprising decision, Winston went ahead and, without hesitation, swallowed the tongs whole. It was then that Aaron panicked and rushed to the veterinarian. Dr. Oliver, upon hearing what had happened, asked a question that almost sounded like a joke. "Are you sure it's in its stomach?" The reality, however, was far from humorous. Swallowing such a large and strange object was a terrible choice for the snake, and the vet immediately suggested that emergency surgery be performed to remove the tongs before they caused irreparable damage. The chosen location for the procedure was the University of Adelaide Hospital. The surgery, which lasted several hours, was complicated, but fortunately, the veterinary team successfully removed the tongs. During the procedure, it became evident how the snake had swallowed the utensil entirely, requiring considerable technical skill to remove it without harming Winston's digestive system. The vet explained that foreign objects like this can cause permanent damage to the snake's digestive system if they attempt to regurgitate them without surgical intervention. Fortunately, the operation was successful and Winston made a full recovery. This curious incident not only put Winston in the headlines but also highlighted the exploratory and curious nature of snakes, something that their owners should always be aware of. For Aaron, the situation became an important lesson about the responsibility of caring for such curious and unpredictable pets. This type of event serves as a reminder that curiosity can lead to unexpected and often amusing situations, but also dangerous ones, especially for exotic animals like snakes. The incident, though somewhat humorous, reinforces the importance of always being vigilant about what pets may accidentally ingest, even in a familiar and safe environment. Number 8. Snake swallows a pig. A group of hikers walking along a picturesque trail near Sakuwaikung had a huge surprise when they came across a scene blocking their path. A snake seemed to be hugging a pig. However, as they got closer, they realized the reality was even darker than they imagined. The snake wasn't just wrapping itself around the pig, but was actually trying to swallow it whole, like something out of a grim fairy tale, reminding one of the infamous big bad wolf trying to eat the grandmother. The animal in question was a large wild boar, about 1 meter long, which now found itself in trouble. The image was disturbing. The pig was being strangled by a massive python, whose coils tightened forcefully as the snake tried to devour its meal in a way that defied human comprehension. Though the scene was painful to watch, the boar appeared motionless, a clear indication that it had already lost the battle against the snake's relentless strength. The snake, in turn, was not just gripping the prey with its powerful jaws, but was also stretching its body impressively to accommodate such a large feast. It was clear that the serpent was physically straining to swallow the pig, and the scene became more surreal as time passed. Over the course of 10 minutes, a remarkable transformation occurred. The pig's body, which had initially been clearly visible, started to gradually disappear into the snake. When the hikers finally looked on in awe, all that remained was a large bulge along the snake's body, silent evidence that the meal had been consumed entirely. With the hard work seemingly complete, the snake, now much heavier, began to move slowly. It turned and slithered away from the area, towards a quieter place where it could digest its monumental meal without being disturbed. The hikers, still amazed by the spectacle of nature in action, were aware that they were not just witnessing a rare and fascinating scene, but also a reminder of the unforgiving laws of wildlife. The struggle for survival, the force of nature, and the predator-prey dynamic were clearly visible in that moment. After the event, the hikers, now aware of the power of this snake and the hidden threats along the trail, were advised to keep their dogs under strict supervision while crossing the area. This was crucial safety advice, as the area was a natural habitat where predators like the snake could be lurking. This unusual experience served as a reminder not only of the power of predators like giant pythons, but also of the delicate balance of wildlife, where formidable creatures follow their hunting routines without considering humans as part of the equation. This incident is a powerful and, at the same time, disturbing reminder of what survival truly means in the natural world. Witnessing events like this can evoke a range of emotions, from fascination to discomfort, but above all, it reveals the primal strength of nature, which, though often challenging and threatening, is also essential for the harmony and functioning of our planet. Number 9. Giant anaconda devours a calf. Watching these impressive images, it's hard to imagine that the snake feels any pleasure while feeding. After all, it doesn't even chew its food, let alone savor it. This behavior is typical of snakes, which swallow their prey whole. It's not that they can't chew. Their teeth are made to grab and hold on to the prey, not to crush it. In this shocking case, a giant anaconda found a substantial meal, a nilgai calf. The apparent lack of resistance from the calf suggests it was already injured or dead before the snake attacked. The nilgai calf, a species of Asian antelope, is among the largest of its family, measuring up to 1.5 meters tall and weighing between 110 and 290 kilograms. The shocking footage of the calf being devoured by an anaconda was captured in Gorakhpur, India. Anacondas are found in various regions, including parts of Africa, Nepal, India, Sri Lanka, and China. These giant snakes are non-venomous and can exceed 9 meters in length. They have the impressive ability to kill and consume animals much larger than their own heads, using their curved, backward-facing teeth to hold the prey tightly. They constrict their prey before coiling around it to induce suffocation. What's truly fascinating is that their jaws can separate in 4 directions, allowing them to swallow prey that seems impossibly large. This adaptability says a lot about the evolutionary advantage these snakes possess, enabling them to thrive in their environments. Number 10. Snake swallows a kangaroo. If you're fond of kangaroos, this scene might leave you a bit disturbed. These large marsupials are native to Australia and proudly hold the title of the largest jumping animals in the world. They're also a national symbol, appearing on the country's coat of arms and even on some of its coins. Now imagine the shock of Helen Smart, an Australian who, during a caravan holiday in far north Queensland, witnessed a dramatic scene. A 5-meter giant python was in the process of swallowing an entire kangaroo. She managed to capture the incredible moment on video, showing the snake dislocating its jaw to accommodate the enormous marsupial in its mouth. Helen mentioned that she was used to seeing reptiles around there, but she had never encountered one this big. The impressive scene took place just a few meters from where she was staying. In the footage, what appears to be an amethystine python is seen with much of the kangaroo hanging out of its mouth. This species is known as the largest snake in Australia. Slowly, the hungry reptile progresses, disarticulating its body to swallow more of the meal, while its stomach visibly expands with each gulp. Helen said it was difficult to watch such a dramatic event, but she also felt a great sense of relief that she and her 2 small dogs hadn't become the snake's next target. This episode not only shows the danger that even stuffed toys can face in snake territory, but also highlights the importance of animal rescue services. Number 11. Snake swallows an electric blanket. If you're cold on a winter night, you might consider curling up in an electric blanket to warm up. But a 3.6-meter Burmese python took this to an impressive level. It swallowed a queen-sized electric blanket, wires and all. Houdini, as the snake was named, belonged to Carl Bosa. He believed the blanket must have gotten tangled in the snake's dinner, a rabbit, that was in the 27-kilogram cage used to provide warmth. Houdini was taken to the St. Francis Veterinary Clinic in Ketchum, where veterinarian Karsten Fave performed the crucial surgery. He estimated that Houdini must have spent about 6 hours swallowing the blanket. Had it not been removed, the consequences could have been severe. X-rays showed an impressive scene. The tangled wires extended about 2.4 meters inside the snake's digestive tract. For at least 3 days, people were talking about the stupid snake that swallowed a blanket. After the successful surgery, Houdini made a full recovery and has since become a popular guest at local school presentations, even achieving a certain celebrity status. It's hard to believe. The idea that a child's teddy bear or even an electric blanket could be considered a meal might seem absurd, but snakes have repeatedly proven that they are capable of swallowing the most unusual items. Unfortunately, these strange choices can cause serious digestive problems or even lead to death, reminding us of the potential dangers associated with their intriguing eating habits. Number 12. Snake swallows a towel. Was this python trying to perform a magic trick or just didn't know where to store its beach towel? That question remains unanswered, but one thing is certain: the scene was quite peculiar. Images captured show the team at a veterinary hospital in Australia saving a snake from a potentially fatal situation. While sunbathing on a beach, a carpet python ended up swallowing an entire beach towel and was clearly in distress after the incident. The story begins when the snake, named Monty Python, was brought to the Sydney Specialised Small Animal Hospital. Dr. Olivia Clark, an experienced veterinarian, quickly sprang into action upon receiving the 18-year-old patient. The first step was to anesthetize Monty to ensure the procedure was safely carried out. Next, the team took X-rays to determine the exact location of the towel in the snake's digestive tract, which was crucial for planning its removal. With precision and skill, the team used long forceps to carefully extract the towel from Monty's stomach. This process required a combination of patience and dexterity, as the snake was in a delicate situation. Although complex, the procedure was successfully performed, and the snake was saved without further complications. Monty Python recovered quickly and was released, with a story to tell that will likely become somewhat legendary among the other animals at the zoo. While it's unclear what led Monty to swallow such an unusual item, the truth is this kind of behavior is not rare among snakes. Many reptiles, especially snakes, are known to swallow strange objects. There have been documented cases where snakes ingested everything from plastic bottles to tongs and even golf balls. It seems that snakes have a natural curiosity that leads them to explore their environment in a rather investigative way, often with their mouths. They don't distinguish inanimate objects from potential prey, which in some cases leads to dangerous situations for themselves. This curious behavior is part of the nature of snakes, but it also brings significant risks. When they swallow non-food items, it can result in intestinal blockages or damage to the digestive system, which can be fatal without proper intervention. For snake owners, this serves as an important reminder that while snakes are fascinating and self-sufficient animals, they require special care. Snakes need a controlled environment and constant supervision, as their curiosity makes it easy for them to get into trouble. In cases like Monty Python's, the help of a specialized veterinarian is essential to ensure the snake's well-being and prevent such incidents from turning into tragedies. Number 13. Snake swallows light bulbs. Imagine a 1.2-meter pine snake thinking that swallowing light bulbs would make its day shine brighter. Who knows what was going through its mind? But the fact is, this snake made the unfortunate decision to swallow 2 light bulbs and quickly regretted it. Florida residents Lynn and Carmen Clark found the snake wriggling in their front yard with 2 visible lumps under its skin. The couple immediately realized something was terribly wrong and quickly took action to help the unlucky reptile. They carefully placed the snake in the car and drove it to Santa Fe Community College, where it received first aid. From there, the snake was transferred to the University of Florida, where resident veterinarian Randy Caliguri performed a detailed 45-minute procedure to remove the light bulbs. The 15-watt bulbs likely came from a chicken coop, and it's believed the snake mistook them for eggs. At one point, the students and instructors at the university were so intrigued by the situation that they affectionately nicknamed the snake G, short for General Electric. Interestingly, this wasn't the first time such a procedure had been performed at the university. Years earlier, another snake had arrived after swallowing 2 golf balls, causing quite a stir in the veterinary community. Will these snakes ever learn to be more selective with their meals? It's an interesting thought, but it seems snakes sometimes get carried away by their instincts, leading them into these bizarre situations. Number 14. Snake swallows a teddy bear. In a rather unusual twist, a teddy bear found itself in trouble when an unexpected visitor crawled into its home and took it away. The teddy bear was enjoying the comfort of its owner's bed when a large carpet python invaded a home on the Gold Coast, Australia. Although it's unlikely the snake specifically chose the teddy bear as its target, the chaos caused by the human family and their dog made poor Ted an easy target. Tony Harrison, a professional in reptile relocation and awareness services, was called to the scene to handle the unexpected guest. He took the python to a veterinary clinic where X-rays revealed a bear-shaped shadow stuck in the snake's digestive system. The decision was made to save the beloved stuffed toy, and fortunately, the surgery was a complete success. Both Ted and the python emerged relatively unscathed from the situation, which was a relief. One can only imagine how grateful Ted must have been to see the light of day again after that unexpected adventure. This incident not only highlights the dangers teddy bears face in snake territory, but also reinforces the importance of animal rescue. The swift actions of Tony and the veterinary team ensured that both the teddy bear and the snake could continue their lives without permanent harm. Snakes may have unusual eating habits, but they are also part of a larger ecosystem where surprising events like this can happen. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed our content, make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Don't forget to check out other interesting content appearing on your screen right now, and I'll see you in the next video. See you next time.